nice looking town, though.
Mr. Franco, we would like to thank you for coming here tonight. So we're here tonight to celebrate and explore the relationship between life and art in your diverse and fascinating career. Since Freaks and Geeks premiered in 1999, you've been involved in
working with my old friends, Seth Rogen and Judd Apatow, was that if you work with people that you trust, then you're able to try things and be free, and you trust them. So if you do something that doesn't work, and if you do those movies where there's a lot of improvisation, there's plenty that doesn't work. Do the movies that you believe in, and work with people that you believe in. And that sort of made all the difference for me as an actor. I think all the roles that I'm known for are sort of after I sort of learned those lessons. There are a lot of kind of tacit understandings about what an actor or artist should do, what kind of work is good for a career. And now I don't sort of listen to those voices. If it's something that I think will be interesting, or at least an interesting experiment, I don't let those sort of rules guide me. So if I get to go on to a soap opera at General Hospital and do like a weird thing, like I'm gonna do it. Like even at the time, I think I was getting maybe criticized by the General Hospital fans. They're like, what is he doing on there? I wouldn't have done that in the first half of my career. Or even, the latest series that I did, 11/22/63, but it was like there were enough elements that made me believe in it. It was a great book, it was a great script, and it paid off.
So I have to ask, you are acting
So much support and love.
Can't say anything up here.
And then when I was 16, I got my driver's license.
Your acting roles range from deadly serious, cutting off your own arm in 127 hours, to absolutely goofy, The Pineapple Express. Do you have a preference?
Do I have a preference, comedy or drama? It's a funny thing, when I was younger, I thought of myself as a dramatic actor. All my acting heroes were dramatic actors, like James Dean and Marlon Brando and Montgomery Clift. And I did Freaks and Geeks, and then I didn't do comedy for a while, and then I went through that period where I was doing movies that I wasn't very happy with, and then I ran into Judd Apatow after years of not seeing him, and he's like, I don't know why you left the comedy world. You should have stayed with us. And it was right when he had released 40-Year-Old Virgin, which was sort of like his breakout movie. And he's like, I'm gonna do another movie with Seth, who was just sort of finally making it then. He's like, I'm gonna do Knocked Up with Seth, and then you two should do a movie. And I was like, at that point, I was like, yes, please. I mean, anything different than what I've been doing will be great. And I did Pineapple Express, and there was such a big response to it, and I got nominated for awards, and it was such a great time, and it's sort of like I had been this guy that had really tortured himself for his roles before then, and it showed me like, oh, you can actually have fun and make a good movie, which was like a crazy concept to me, and so from that point on, comedy sort of became part of what I did, and most of the ones that I do are with Seth, who's like one of my closest friends. I'll do another one if you want it. And then I have all these other projects that I love that are sort of, people want a little less, or at least they go and see it, they don't, fewer people see these other things that I do, these more, I don't know, literary kind of things, like Faulkner adaptations and stuff like that. But by doing the comedies, I'm able to do the other ones. And sort of, part of it was that I wanted to do these other things. And so by going to school and working with these great teachers that I was talking about, that it enabled me to do those things. And part of it was that I had been doing those things. Before I went to film school, I had directed my own movies, and and before I went to writing school, I had written things, but it was weird. I didn't really, and this is just me, you know, everybody doesn't necessarily work this way, but I didn't, when I was doing it on my own, I sort of didn't have the confidence to show people. So I would write, but I wouldn't show anybody what I'd written. And so, in a way, I wouldn't really get better.
Thank you. I want to thank you, James, for coming. If I can call you James or prefer Mr. Franco. I watched the roast, and you ended the roast with spray painting the podium. And we have some gold markers right here, and we have this beautiful banner behind there. If you, after my final question, which trust me, it won't be as difficult as the other ones, if you could sign the banner after. So it's a nice warm day, 85 degrees, stranded on an island. You're stranded. An island, a remote island in the middle of the ocean. You got food and water. Food and water, unlimited food and water. You gotta bring 3 things. They can be humans. You can bring human beings to the island. What are you bringing to that island, Franco? Tell me what you're bringing. 3 things.
All right.
I'll bring Seth Rogen. Just to be entertained, and we would probably need a woman there so that keep the human race going. So some special woman. And I guess maybe Seth wouldn't be happy without his wife, so I'll bring his wife too.
On behalf of the entire college, we want to thank you very much for being. James Franco, ladies and gentlemen.